The Ethiopian Meroitic Empire, also known as the Kingdom of Kush, lasted from about 350 BC until 400 A. During the over 1,000-year reign of this mighty empire, it produced at least 10 warrior queens that ruled independently and fought in the front lines during times of war. In some cases, the Candaces had more power and authority than the kings of Ethiopia. Candace is the Latin or Greek translation of the Meroitic word Candace, or queen, mother, ruler. One of the most legendary queens of Ethiopia, the Candace of Meru, is mentioned in Alexander the Great's Romance of Alexander. The Greek king known for the speed in which he conquered, who already had his foot in Egypt, had an eye set for the rest of the African continent. But the first Candace stopped him in his tracks, leading an army mounted on war elephants. She turned back Alexander's invasion of Ethiopia in 332 BC. Alexander never attacked Nubia and never attempted to move further south than the oasis of Siwa in Egypt. Amanishakheto, as she was known in Egypt, reigned from 40 BC to 01 BC. She is most known for the Meroitic War, in which she fought valiantly with her son Akinadad by her side against Augustus Caesar and Egyptian perfect general Petronius. The conflict started when Rome tried to impose a tax on Ethiopian citizens living in Egypt. In protest, Amanirinas removed a head from a statue of Caesar and buried it under the steps of a temple in the city of Aswan. The Candace would go on to lose an eye in battle with the Romans, but Rome lost the war against the Ethiopians. Candace Amanirinas defeated the Roman army and forced them to sign a treaty that favored the interests of the Ethiopians, leaving them free from paying any taxes to Rome. Amantitir, lived during the time Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, walked the earth. Candace Amantitir was often depicted wearing a double uraeus, which meant she ruled the Upper Nile and the Lower Nile River. The queen was among the last great Kush builders. She also built Amun temples at Naka and Amara, and was involved in restoring the large temple for Amun at Meru and the Amun temple at Napata after it was demolished by the Romans. Reservoirs for the retention of water also were constructed at Meru during her reign. Amantitir is buried in her own pyramid in Meru. The tomb was discovered and looted by Giuseppe Ferlini, who had no interest in history or preservation and was only seeking gold and artifacts he could sell for a high price. She may be the Candace referenced in Acts 8-27 of the Bible. Acts 8:26-40, and the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise, and go toward the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went. And behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority under Candace queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem for to worship, was returning, and sitting in his chariot read Esaias the prophet. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near, and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Esaias, and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. The place of the scripture which he read was this: He was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so opened he not his mouth. In his humiliation his judgment was taken away, and who shall declare his generation? For his life is taken from the earth. And the eunuch answered Philip, and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophet this? Of himself, or of some other man? Then Philip opened his mouth, and began at the same scripture, and preached unto him Jesus. And as they went on their way, they came unto a certain water. And the eunuch said, See, here is water. What doth hinder me to be baptized? And Philip said, If thou believest with all thine heart, thou mayest. And Philip said, If thou believest with all thine heart, thou mayest. And he commanded the chariot to stand still. And they went down both into the water, both Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him. And when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more, and he went on his way rejoicing. But Philip was found at Azotus, and passing through he preached in all the cities, till he came to Caesarea.